land, and who finances new black farmers is once again stirring up emotions here. Emotions that could create further tensions within the country's unity government. President Robert Mugabe's supporters want the bulk of the funds given by the International Monetary Fund to go to new farmers, $510 million US. But they're only getting 50 million of it. A travesty, says the Zanu-PF supporter and recent beneficiary of Zimbabwe's controversial land reform program.
What stupid way of doing things are we engaging in? Well, it's not as if the coming of rains is a surprise. We all know when rains come in. Why are we not ready season after season? Are we playing games with people's lives? Because then, you see, if you don't finance agriculture, people get hungry, they'll burn the streets, and you create social strife. And when you create social strife, they'll say the land reform program has failed.
Those in charge of the purse strings, Prime Minister Tsvangarai's party, the Movement for Democratic Change, say they are only trying to avoid people pillaging state resources. The perception here is that most new farmers support Robert Mugabe, and they're not fully utilizing the lucrative farms seized from white farmers nearly a decade ago.
The largest complaint against the Minister of Finance has been coming from those people that have been killed and destroyed by the dependency syndrome from the state, who are actually not genuine farmers, but genuine farmers are farming.
Most of the IMF money will go to fixing roads and dilapidated sewer pipes. Government will, however, subsidize peasant farmers in rural areas, most of whom can't afford to buy fertilizers and seeds. Since 1980, after independence from Britain, around 300,000 families have benefited from government's land reform program, but most of them are still very poor, and they rely on subsidies just to be able to grow enough food to feed their families. Zanu-PF's trump card in elections has always been land. But if they can't finance their supporters, they could lose another election.
There will be this continued perception, at least for one more or two more rounds of elections, that the land issue favors, say, Zanu-PF in the elections and so forth. So people will tend to chime against it more or less on that old political grounds.
There have been calls to remove the current finance minister and replace him with someone more sympathetic to Zanu-PF's ideology on land reform. As long as ownership of land is seen as the way to power and political control here, both Zanu-PF and the MDC will try to outmaneuver each other for votes. It's yet another political squabble that could create more disunity in the already fragile unity government. Haru, Mutasa, Jazeera, Mashonaland East, Zimbabwe.